Hi. I thought it would be an important thing to talk about aging because I am about a little over a month away from turning 70. And I had a major catastrophe happen a year ago last Thanksgiving. Um, we are really vulnerable as we age for falling. And I used to be so proud of the fact that I was a vigilant person looking for tripping hazards throughout my house, making really careful that there was nothing ever in the way that I could catch my foot on. And just prior to my accident, I was bragging about that, about how careful I am. My husband passed away 5 years ago, and when he died, my one of my children and his family moved into the major part of my home, and I have my own space. I have about 1,100 square feet of my own where I live. But in order to get to my car, I generally walk through their portion of the house, and with their little kids, there are lots of landmines on the floor. So I am very careful where I walk. Well, last Thanksgiving, not this last one, but in 2023, we were, pardon the light, that I have a skylight kind of behind me, and it happens to be a sunny day. What a crazy thing. Anyway, it was the Sunday of Thanksgiving weekend, and one of my sons from Tucson was visiting, and my other son from another place about 60 miles away was visiting, and we all decided to go get together in my hometown. And we were walking along the sidewalk, and bam, before I knew it, I was flying through the air. If I hadn't put my hands down like this, I would have face planted. I mean, it was just came out of nowhere. We were just talking. I was just walking on the sidewalk. Well, there was a gap in the sidewalk about an inch that my toe caught, and I fell forward. As I was flying through the air, I was thinking, oh my God, curse word that starts with an F, I'm going to break a hip. Well, I didn't break my hip. I broke my patella, my kneecap. So I sat up and I looked at my knee and I went, oh my God, there was like a dent in it. I thought, this does not look good. And it's like, oh God, could I please relive those last minutes? So I sat there, cussed a lot, and my kids came over and they said, well, we can carry you to the car. And, no, we're not. You're not moving me. Call an ambulance. So they called an ambulance, which took me 1 mile to the hospital. I live in a small town. Fortunately, because it wasn't really that expensive. So I went to the hospital. They did an x-ray, and yes, I broke my patella. So the doctor couldn't see me till the following Wednesday. This was Sunday, so they couldn't see me till Wednesday. So because he had to wait for the swelling to go down. So then I couldn't have surgery till Monday. And I then spent the next 5 weeks in a little form of hell. Pardon me. I had to wear this god-awful brace that went from, well, they tried one that went to like the middle of my thigh, and it just dug into my thigh, and it kept sliding down. So I finally got a bigger one that went up to almost to my hip that was just as bad. So I had to spend all my time in that stupid thing. I couldn't bathe, so for the first week, I couldn't take a bath, which was just, I'm sure, wonderful for everyone around me. And I couldn't do anything. I was totally helpless. I couldn't feed my dog. I had just gotten a dog about July, so just a few months before I got her so that I could go for walks, get in shape. Well, that didn't happen. I have birds. I couldn't take care of my birds. I couldn't feed myself. I couldn't bathe. I couldn't do anything. I just couldn't do anything. I was totally helpless. So, so when I could finally take a bath after the first week, I had to cover up the bandage, totally seal it off with plastic so it wouldn't get wet. Fortunately, the main shower in my house has a walk-in shower. I don't know how I couldn't have done it otherwise, because I couldn't bend my knee to get over the side of a tub. So my daughter-in-law had to help me in the shower. Now, talk about humiliating. Oh my God. That was really that was difficult. But in order to get into the shower, I had to take the brace off, get undressed, put the brace back on, so I could get into the shower, take the brace back off, wash, dry, put the brace back on, get out of the shower, take the brace off, put my clothes back on, put the brace back on. I'm telling you, it was hell. So, and then they had gotten a wheelchair, but I also had crutches, which was not a pretty sight. I was 68 at the time, and 68-year-old people on crutches is scary. It was scary. Am I going to fall again? Because they're these spindly things. And I was really out of shape, which I'm trying really hard to get better at, which it's a slow process. So I would use the crutches to get in and out of the wheelchair, and then I'd wheel around. I finally got to where I could feed my birds, but I could, except for changing their water. I'd had to have help with that. So it was hell. I would not recommend it for anyone. I'm fortunate. I'm so grateful that I had my kids living in my home. I don't know what I would have done if they hadn't been here. I would have been really screwed. So I urge you to be extra careful with your surroundings and make sure that there aren't tripping hazards, because it only took a second and my life just totally turned upside down for 4 months. It was 4 months before I was able to really be free of everything. I mean, I can still feel it. It's been over a year now, and I have a really ugly scar down the front of my knee. But I'm grateful that it was fixable, and I can walk. I'm able to walk pretty much without a limp now. But it took months. I was in the brace for 5 weeks. And then I started PT for 10 weeks, which was really helpful. So I would urge you, if you ever are in an accident or something, do what they tell you to do. It really does help, as much as it sucks. So I did all my exercises, and I got through it. And I can walk now, which is good. But my leg will never be the same. It's taken a lot of time to build up that muscle that atrophied for 5 weeks in that brace. I couldn't move it. I couldn't bend my leg. I could lift them. He gave me leg lifts. I could do certain things, but it had been sitting without any exercise for a while. So first of all, get in shape right now. If I had been in better shape, this would have been a lot easier. I'm just telling you. Using those crutches, I got strong, but I guarantee you will be better off if you get in shape now. But probably the biggest lesson that I learned from all this, not only watch where the F I'm going, but I learned to ask for help. I am extremely independent. I have always been very independent. I'm kind of a loner. I just like to do everything myself. I'm pretty much self-taught in everything I do, which isn't necessarily a good thing, but that's just who I am. But so I had to learn to ask for help and let other people help me. That was really hard, but I'm so grateful that there were people around who did. I didn't realize what a control freak I really am. But, that's who I am. So anyway, that's kind of my story, and my hope for you is that you never, ever have to go through that. But if you do, stay strong. There is light at the end of the tunnel. You can do this. So if you like this story, like my channel, or subscribe to my channel, like this video, whatever you feel like doing. I tend to share a lot of weird stuff. Plus, I'm an artist, as you can see. I like to paint. And I have some painting videos and ideas for painting, and I encourage you to do that too. So check out some of the other videos around here, and come back soon. I hope to see you soon. Thank you so much for listening to my knee saga. And just remember, watch your step.